Good morning. This is Corey DeYoung, Director of Marketing with TigerPaw Software. I want to welcome you this morning to our webinar with ESET, Track End User Security while Enhancing Revenue and Saving Time. This morning we have Cameron Towsley with ESET presenting, and he is the Partner Community Manager over there at ESET. Cameron, take it away.
Thank you, Corey. Welcome, everybody. Yes, my name is Cameron Towsley. I serve as ESET's Partner Community Manager, and basically what that means is I support our network of channel partners, and I do that in a variety of different ways, whether it's just educating people on our partner programs if they're thinking about signing up, onboarding new partners, assisting existing ones with selling, maximizing program benefits, potentially converting some of their business over to the MSP model because we have a lot of VARs that are doing the standard licensing. But whatever it is, I'm here to support you and support TigerPaw. So I've been with ESET for about 8 years. I've served in a variety of different roles, all sales related. So the nice part is a lot of these have been all channel partner driven. So whatever the role has been, it's working with channel partners like yourself. So we have an exciting agenda for you today. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about ESET, give you some of our background. Then I'll talk about our detection and our track record. I'll tell you why users are choosing ESET. I'll go into the TigerPaw and ESET integration. I'll follow that up by talking a little bit about our MSP program so that you have some background in case you're interested in signing up. So just some quick facts for you. We were established in 1992. Technically, the code that would become NOD32, our flagship product, was developed in 1987, but our actual go-to market was 1992. So we're just about a hair under 25 years old. We have about 1,100 employees worldwide. We have sales, distribution, R&D centers in 13 countries currently. We have partners spanning 180 countries, so we're all over. We are the 5th largest endpoint security vendor globally, and we're the 2nd largest antivirus vendor globally as well. So just to kind of show you from a global perspective where we're located, Bratislava, Slovakia is our home base. That is where the product was developed and really started in market. And then San Diego hit next. That was around 1999. Now from there, the partners of the business said, hey, we want to expand a little bit more. So, we think that the following areas might be important to do that in. As you can see, there's going to be a lot of little pinpoints dropping up, 11 more. So currently we have 13 offices. Now, San Diego services all of the U.S., Canada, and the Caribbean islands, so we have quite a territory there. But we have a lot of research and malware centers, one in Montreal there, that's the closest to all of us. We have a brand new office in Toronto supporting our Canadian brothers and sisters. And we have locations all over to support anybody who wants to sell ESET anywhere. So let's talk about how many users are running ESET. Our most recent estimations are a little bit over 100 million. So when you say, how big is ESET? Maybe I haven't heard of them. We're protecting a lot of people out there, and this is consumers, businesses, small, large. We have a lot of different client types, and whether it's people like you and me with a laptop or a phone device, or businesses with servers and mail servers and wide networks, we protect the masses. So our detection and our track record. We rely on heuristics. There's a lot of companies and will market different ways. But what we get down to is simply we are all about heuristics. Our real-time scanner is kind of that magic special sauce that really is able to identify any piece of code, whether it be your user clicking on a website, getting an email, a link, maybe something in the subject line. It doesn't really matter what it is. We use our heuristic technology to really dissect each piece of code in front of the end user before it affects them, so we can determine, is it going to be safe? Is it going to be malware? And if it's malware, we quickly quarantine it or clean it or whatever we need to do to keep it off of the network and widespread. Now, what you see on the screen here is a chart from AV Test. They're an independent testing institute out of Germany. Great company. They accept all types of malware samples every single day. And what we're seeing here is a daily estimation of how many they're receiving. So 390,000 on average is what they're getting here in 2015. I think the really interesting part of this slide is that, from 1984 to around 2006, there really wasn't anything going on. And then we had this uptick, and it was this gradual surge. But then when we get to 2013 to 2015, it's just skyrocketing these days. And we expect those figures to double, triple, quadruple. So kind of the value here is that 390,000 samples a day, that's a lot. And if you have some vendors that are hitting maybe 90%, that may sound good on paper, but that means they might be missing 39,000 pieces of malware every single day. And that's what really separates ESET from its competitors. We have a very high successfully testing rate, and that's what kind of sets us apart. And one thing to remember, it only takes one infection. So if you have a user calling you, they were one out of those that probably received, one of the 39,000 pieces of malware. Now, some of the awards that we've received from independent testing companies, AV Comparatives is a great one. We've actually been an antivirus top-rated product from 2011 to 2015. You'll also see some other logos from companies like Virus Bulletin, West Coast Labs, Dennis Technologies, ICSA Labs, and AV Test. So we're certified on some, winning awards in others. Virus Bulletin was on the last slide, and I really just kind of want to show you this chart. If you're not familiar with them, they test every 3 months, and they basically are testing you, or each antivirus company, on how much malware they can successfully prevent, so detect and prevent. These awards date back to 1998. So as you can see, all the way to the left, ESET's just about hit 100%, whereas a lot of the other vendors are still trying to catch up. So we've tested successfully in all 13 years dating back to 1998 and have currently 92 awards. Now just to kind of give you a graph here and show you how many times we've tested, passed, what the success ratio is. ESET right now is at 98%. Now, Symantec's our closest competitor at 93, but even then, kind of goes back to that scenario of, how much malware are people missing? And that's really what sets you apart as an antivirus vendor. You can have a lot of cool features, market your company really, really well, but when it comes down to it, an antivirus company is there to protect and prevent infection. So why do people choose ESET? A couple core things. So we're focused on IT security and nothing else. There's a lot of companies who have started to get into a lot of different areas, a lot of the bigger companies, and that's fine, that's great for them, but sometimes you kind of lose sight of what's important with your antivirus clients, which is, again, building a product that's solid, that detects well, that has a low system footprint, that really just works. And so ESET really prides itself on being focused on IT security. So we have free support. We don't try and really make money off of that. That's not a thing for us. Also, user data. That's kind of the new thing. We've seen a lot of companies get into the market of selling data, selling their customers' data to different companies who are data companies, and they're getting paid for that. And we don't want our customers to be included. Privacy is a huge thing right now, and we want to respect that each of the companies we work with want that privacy. And we're a security company, so we need their trust. Now, the other thing is easy to use remote management console. So, our remote management console is used to manage networks. We want it to be easy for you. So by default, we have a lot of good best practice settings, and we make it easy to run, use, and you can kind of set it and forget it. The other third thing is just our product being lightweight. So it works on older machines, newer machines. It has low requirements. It's a very efficient product, and it's very lightweight, whether you're talking the install or the actual updates that we use to update our virus signature database. So a couple of the core reasons why people choose ESET and why we win over our competitors. Light footprint, again, like I just mentioned, that seems to be still the leader for us. People call us and say, I've either heard of ESET, been referred to you guys, or I used it in the past for maybe my home. I want to check it out on the business side. So let's talk about that a little bit. And the conversations we get into are, what separates you from your competitors? We know you're light. That's one thing we know because we've tried it, but what else? And so we get into stuff like, the remote administration being easy. We just updated our console not too long ago, and it's easy to use for the user. And we set a lot of things by default, again, to be automated. All you're really responsible for is getting in there, installing, maybe coming up with a few custom policies, and at that point, once you've deployed, you're pretty much done, unless you really need to change things around because there's a government regulation or some custom setting that you want for your user. High detection rates, low false positives, those go hand in hand. If you're casting a wide net and you say, hey, I got a great detection rate, that's fine, but tell me also about how many low or false positives you have. If you have a high amount, it means you're just kind of looking for everything and just deeming everything to be bad. And we don't want that because that's going to scare customers. It's going to waste their time. These are things that you guys probably have to deal with. So it's really important to have good detection, but also have a low false positive rate. Efficiency and performance in virtual environments. As we kind of move through technology advancements, people are getting more on the virtual side of things. They want to have appliances and a virtual environment and thin clients and not have to spend so much money on so much hardware. So we understand that, and all of our products are virtual ready. Third-party testing results. When you're shopping for things, you're obviously reading reviews, and that's, again, what this is. So 20% of the people that were surveyed here still really value these things, and I do too. When I go to shop for things, I really want to know that ESET compared to all of its competitors, we're going to do well, but not just because ESET says I do well. So what kind of products or platforms do we make products for? Well, file security, we have a product for that. We have one for mail. Takes care of all the centralized anti-spam. We have a workstation product with different levels of features. So you can get the most basic one, which is an excellent product, or if you want to take a step up, we have a premium version that's stuff like web filtering. We also have a mobile product, one for Android. We'd love to do one for iOS. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have root access to Apple systems, but I think a lot of people understand that. We're going to try and build a product as soon as we can for that. Jumping into the product itself, our management console is called Remote Administrator, and we're on version 6. Some of the key highlights, it's browser-based. Now, technically, you have to install it. It's a local install. But once you've done that, and it's a very light footprint, by the way, once you do that, it's all browser-based. So whether you're running Chrome or IE, Edge, or whatever your browser choice is, you can manage your entire network from a single browser. Remote install and updates. So again, we're going to be deploying to networks of users, right? So we don't want to go and touch every single machine. So we have a remote install, and all of our updates will happen, over the air, and we actually host the database. So you guys aren't responsible for all the updates and any kind of perceived load that you might think you might have. All the updates will be delivered to those machines, but they'll actually go to ESET.com for those. And then low management and overhead. Again, just continuing on the theme of having a light footprint and product. ESET's very light. As far as our updates go, I think that's the thing that people ask me about the most. And, they're anywhere from 50 to 150 kilobytes, which is nothing. We deliver updates about 3 times a day. And our entire update database is about 85 megs. A couple of the other features in here that people love. We support all OSs and platforms. So again, whether you're running Windows, which is the most common, or Mac, they're really starting to make a move into the enterprise market, or Linux, Android. I mean, we cover everything. And again, it's either old or new. We understand that you have clients that may be running older systems. We want to make sure that you can go in and have a one-stop shop for antivirus. Mobile device management is a brand new feature for ESET. This will allow you to actually manage not only Android, but iOS devices. So if you're working with a small government client or a large one, and they say, we let people do the BYOD thing, but we don't want them to have use of the camera because when they come in our doors, we can't have data leaving in any way. So you can disable stuff like the camera features. You can lock down apps that can be installed or allow. Either is fine. Whatever you feel comfortable with, you can typically do that on either device type. And then finally, plugin support, and this is really where it affects you. You know, we built a plugin with TigerPaw to help you because we know you love TigerPaw. So we have made it easy for our console to plug into theirs. And we're working with a lot of RMMs too, because that's kind of half of the whole package, right? You want to be able to monitor things, but also do the billing, the ticketing, the support. And I'll get into that in a little bit. Just to kind of give you a look into what the remote administrator looks like. Here you can see that you can see all the different clients, their statuses, whether they're updated on the virus database, when they last connected. So it's going to give you a lot of good information about the groups or subgroups of clients that you set up. On this screen, I'm showing you the policy menu. So you can assign various policies to any one of the machines. So pretty much anything you'd expect to have an antivirus product and more, we have a policy for. As far as tasks go, you know, this screen is going to show you all the various tasks that you can run on these machines. And again, we have things that will run by default already when you set it up, so there's really not a lot of hard work. But if you want to dig in and find out some of the cool stuff we have, you can actually get in there, assign whatever tasks you want to specific users or groups or subgroups of those groups. Then finally, reporting. This is a huge thing, right? Everybody really wants to have good reporting, not just because they want it, but because it's regulated as well. So when you have somebody that says, hey, you know, I'm shopping for an antivirus product, and, you know, is that included in your offering every single month? Well, yes, it is. And I'll tell you what, I can do all the reporting that the government is going to regulate me to do for your company. And I can deliver that to you on whatever basis you want. So if you say, hey, I want to report on all the machines that I have protected, how often they're updated, if there's any infections, whatever that may be, you can have that stuff reported to your console. You can roll it into you know, an exportable type of report, and then you can send it off to your user whenever they may need. Now, not that they always need that, but it may be something that they have to turn in periodically. So that's just a conversation you'll obviously have with them. But the ability is here. So ESET Live Grid. So we talked about, you know, ESET being really focused on heuristics, but that doesn't mean we don't have a virus signature database. We do, and ours lives in the cloud. And so there's a couple nice things about Live Grid. It allows us to see what's happening and measures users' incidence and infection ratio. So we can just see how many incidents happen, if there's infections in those, calculate a ratio on that, and report it right into the remote administrator. That's important to you because if you know that maybe there's 15 events, and then, you know, there's only one infection, you know that 1 out of 15 occurred, and what happened with that, it'll all be reported. So, you know, collecting metadata and all that, it helps us with detections. On the inside of our product, we have HIPS, so Host Intrusion Prevention System, and that lives in the computer, and that really says, okay, you know, there may be a file that has gotten in, and maybe it lay dormant and is really sneaky, but then when it tries to do something right to the registry when it sits in, we'll catch it inside. And that allows us to protect you, your users, from the inside and the outside. Now the files, this is how we collect any kind of suspicious files. So we utilize them to make sure that we haven't created any false positives by sensitive DNA signatures within our algorithms. So the use of collecting all these files really, really helps us. And then finally, we have a reputation system. So we're going to look at a lot of files, but it doesn't mean they're going to be bad. They might be. So we're going to see how many times have we seen these files in the wild. We say the wild, what that means is that it hasn't been in a virus signature database as something malicious or identified, but it may be something that eventually becomes bad. So we look at the file, we look at the prevalence of it, then also the reputation, what it's doing. So if it's doing things that might be kind of weird and we think that, hey, we know we've seen this file 6 times and it's been fine, but on the 7th, it looks like it's kind of changed a little bit, and we never really liked this file, so now we're going to deem it malicious. And a lot of times it is. You know, obviously, I've said earlier that we have low false positives. The algorithms that we have working typically work very, very well. Privacy. I said this in the beginning here. Privacy is important to everybody, important to me. You know, if I'm a company, I don't know that I want any kind of data going out. because I don't want to be infected. I don't want something to happen. I don't want my info to be sold. Well, when we collect information in LiveGrid, we're not collecting user information, just file information. And that helps us build a powerful signature database. But if you have a user that's very sensitive, maybe it's a government, and they say, we don't want to be included in this, no problem, customer. I will go ahead and I'll turn this off. You have my word. I'll put it on paper, and I'll put that setting in the ESET product. Don't worry. You're still going to benefit from ESET's global LiveGrid. So you can benefit from it, but you don't have to participate in it. So it's their choice. So at this time, I kind of want to get into ESET and TigerPaw and how we're going to help you. So in selecting TigerPaw and working with these folks, you know, it really made sense. You know, they're a market leader. They have a very slick product, and you know, they're the top PSA that we decided to work with. And you know, they said, hey, you know, we love the ESET product. We'd love to work with you folks, and let's make this happen. So, you know, about 6-7 months ago, we started working with TigerPaw, and then we released our PSA plugin back in like late October at their user conference. So far, it's been doing really well. We're getting a fair amount of feedback, and it's good. So, you know, we're really happy about this solution. Here's what it does. It connects ESET's console to TigerPaw's. We realize you don't want to be in 9 different consoles, so we're doing as much as we can to, you know, let you just operate out of the TigerPaw console. So that creates automated ticketing for security-related events. It also manages licensing and cost by tracking ESET products and their seat counts. Specifically on the billing side, we can monitor seat counts of ESET products for, you know, customer sites that you have set up. We know that you're going to have multiple customer sites. You want to keep all those organized so you can monitor all the products installed on those customer sites and then all the seat counts associated with those products. It also allows you to organize endpoints into groups and subgroups. So again, you know, you need to group everybody accordingly, build them accordingly, all that good stuff. We allow you to do that in the TigerPaw plugin. And then finally, we're able to map accounts and recurring services to groups and specific ESET licenses in the ESET Remote Administrator. From a ticketing perspective, it creates tickets for computers when they join a dynamic group in the ESET Remote Administrator. So we can take care of all that ticketing and make it in an automated fashion for you. So you don't have to worry about going back to your antivirus product for that. Whatever the event is, anything that happens, it'll create that ticket right in the TigerPaw console, and then you'll be alerted immediately. And then again, you can map dynamic groups to TigerPaw priorities so that each ticket created can be assigned a priority level, and the appropriate action can be taken. I just want to give you a screenshot of what it actually looks like. So you can see here's how the mapping takes place. And this is going to show how you would map an account on the ESET server to your TigerPaw software. Feedback is key for us. I can't say this enough. You know, our team is really, really open to tweaking the product, improving it, giving the user, which is really you, what you need. So we have a feedback button right in the top right-hand side, and when you click that, it's going to prompt an email-looking type of screen. What that'll do is when you type in your information, your message, your feedback, everything will go into our team. The next part is it goes into a few important people on our side that actually look after this integration and support it and build it and tweak it for you. So that's going to be the lead developer, the project developer, you know, the director of the department that works with TigerPaw on any of the projects that we might be having going. So, you know, getting your feedback is going to help us build this for you. And if you want a specific conversation with our team and TigerPaw, let us know. We'd be glad to set that up with you. Feedback is essential for us. It's the most important part about this. Just to show you a couple of the RMMs we currently have RMM plugins for, Kaseya and LabTech, 2 wonderful companies. We're happy to be involved with both of them. We have a lot more projects on the way. A couple of the other vendors, whether it's an RMM or a PSA, we have a new version going for LabTech, and same with Kaseya. We're starting to work with GFI, Enable, AVG, Continuum. Salesforce is on the list, and so is NetSuite. So you have a lot of either RMMs, PSAs, or even a couple CRMs in there. So we'd be glad to have any discussions with you if you have interest in any of those type of platforms, and any kind of feedback you have can even perhaps shape the first initial release. So I'm going to kind of spend a few minutes here talking about ESET's MSP program. So that way I give you a good idea of how this works and how you can use it to your benefit. So we believe in making business easy. I know that's easy to say, but we really try. What that means is per seat, per day licensing. So we understand you need to be flexible with your customers. We want to be flexible with you. So when you license ESET, we only charge what you're using every single day. So you can add, you can reduce licensing on demand by yourself through a portal that we have set up for you. We have month-to-month billing. So you only receive one invoice at the end of the month based on your usage. We have volume-based pricing. So when we get into discounts and, what am I going to get as far as like margin and that kind of thing, we have margin that we give, but then we also have volume-based pricing. And the more that you order, the better the discount you get. And the nice part is we give you an aggregate discount based on the product. So if you're running our workstation product and you have it installed on 100 machines across 15 sites, we don't care about all the little sites that you have. All that we care about is that you have 100 and you have it on the ESET product. We're going to give you a discount at that appropriate level, which makes it nice for you because you get a big aggregate discount as you move through the month. And if you add licensing one day and get into a new tier, your discount starts immediately. Self-service portal is something I mentioned. So we have a specific portal set up for you so that you can access it 24/7. When you make a change to your licensing, it directly connects with the remote administrator and feeds that information into the TigerPaw console, and it will do that within a few minutes. So if you have an install coming up that day, there's not much preparation you need from an ESET perspective. All you need to do is make sure that that's the install that you want, and you go and you license a few minutes before you need it. That way you don't waste any money. Some of the requirements we have in our program, this is a nice part. It's very light. We require that any MSP doing business with ESET has at least 25 seats at any given time. Within our partner contracts, we give a 6-month ramp up. So that should be more than enough time to get 25 seats on. But again, we understand that it takes time. So typically we only review our requirements once a year. That way it gives you plenty of time to get ramped up. Providing full support, this is something that we help you do. So we want to train you, educate you, make sure that you are confident in using the ESET product with TigerPaw, and that if you need to support the antivirus product, you know how to with your clients. We expect that they're your clients, they're going to go to you, you have a contract with them, but we'll help you on the back end. So whatever you need, we have support set up, and that's something that we're glad to help you with. Getting to some of the benefits, again, free US-based support with an exclusive partner hotline. So we'll support you, and you have an exclusive partner hotline that's not available to the public. It's a special line you can call in, kind of skip the line essentially, because we understand you're a partner, you represent lots of customers, and we want to help you out immediately. We have a training and a new certification program that we'll be launching soon. Training's already there. The certifications we're working on currently, but we hope to have those available soon. Partner Center Access. This is another portal that we have, and this is where you're going to get a lot of the benefits. So if you want data sheets or collateral, tech briefs, white papers, marketing, anything that you need to help sell ESET within your package of managed services, we can help you with. And other things that we have available to you, we have what's called an MDF program. So that's Market Development Funds. Basically, if you have an idea on how to acquire new clients, maybe you have a trade show, a lunch and learn, maybe an email blast, whatever your style is, we have a portal that you can log into, the ESET Partner Center, where you can submit to possibly get marketing support from our company. And we're glad to work with any kind of MSP. So it doesn't matter how big or small your business is. We want good ideas. We want to work with you. We want to help you build. If you're interested in joining the program, we have a place for you to apply. That's right on our website. Or if you just have simple questions, you can either apply or contact partnerservices@eset.com. This is my team, and these requests go in either directly to me or they'll go into a team member.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Cameron and ESET for presenting for us this morning, and we look forward to making this partnership stronger as we move forward and working with our customer partners. So thank you for attending, and Cameron, thank you for presenting.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody.